Namaste, Sat Sri Akal, Paji, and welcome to Law Unplugged. It's an
Came
honor
cho,
for
came
us.
cho. You would ask
Yeah,
came cho. Came cho is the word.
Ganigamma. Yes. So, how are you doing today? Tell us. Third year of
just
your
completed the second year. Yeah.
okay. So, third year of your undergraduate course, and you have come up with, I guess, India's first antitrust law blog, which is the competition forum. So tell us how did you first of all develop the interest in competition, and that too in the third year itself, when a lot of people by the fourth year are still not sure of what to do. So tell us everything about it.
Yeah. So actually, I came up with this. I along with my co-founder Neelesh Meena, we came up with this idea in the first semester, in the second semester itself, right? So we were like, there was nothing. We were just discussing like there were certain new blogs coming up. We were discussing how blogs have also assumed importance because some in the first year, no one was thinking on. I was not at all aware that you can also publish articles, short articles on blogs. It was only journals, right? So we were kind of discussing the importance that the legal fora is witnessing how blogs and online publications are assuming importance. So we were discussing the leading names, India Corp Law and CBCL and other blogs of that matter. So we actually the first intra Moot which was going on during that time, and it was on competition law. So that was a law subject which we were going through time period. So that was on our mind, right? So it was not something like I was like really interested or so. Something that a call came that okay, I have to go for competition law. It was just that I was reading and preparing for the Moot, and Moot usually makes a law subject interesting, right? Because the propositions that they pose forces you to apply your legal mind. So any law subject would definitely become interesting. So I was going through that and I was solving for the proposition. So I thought I found competition law in that really interesting. So this was a thought that does a blog exist which only solely focuses on competition law? The answer to this that was no, actually, because there was just Clover competition, and that was also not very prevalently chosen for. So there was no Indian blog as such. So we thought that can we start a blog? Like, is it possible? Like, does it take a lot of money? Do we need to hire a website developer or something like that? So we Nilesh, being a tech savvy person, he said not at all. There are like numerous websites on which we pay a very small amount to the tune of 1,500 or so per year, and you'll be getting your web address as well as the premium account, and we can make websites. So he was the one who developed the website at the initial stages, and then we launched it in November. Like we did not October, November. We did not thought what would happen. So uh, actually, it was launched in September, but yeah, it was finalized and advertised during the months of October and so. So yeah, that was it. It was no brainstorming as such. We discussed it on a walk throughout the campus, and the same day we went to our hostel rooms and we made the website the same day, the same day. And then we worked. We contacted people. We never thought that we would be converting this into a peer review thing. So initially, I suggested that we can approach people to write for our blog, right? So the first major acceptance that we got was from Steve Levitsky. So you'll have his details all through the LinkedIn. So Steve Levitsky actually, very happily accepted our invite to write a guest post. So he was not approached as an editor or an advisor at the initial stages. That was done like really this year, in the first of this year, when we converted this blog to a peer-reviewed blog. So he agreed to write for us, and he sent us an article. I was actually really surprised. I sent him I typed a common message to be sent on LinkedIn to everybody who belongs to competition, right? That's what we do. So I sent it to everyone. Then I was looking the other day and I sent to Steve Levitsky. So it was like a really long shot. I was expecting to be ignored very blatantly, but he surprisingly replied by sending his email ID, and he sent that, please let me know the details of the editorial. I would be more than happy to contribute. So that was the major breakthrough, and he wrote an article, sent it within a period of 10 to 15 days, and we put it up on the blog. So that we shared. So people like knowing about it. Then we approached Basu Chandola, who's a part of our now again board of editors. So he was a graduate of NLU Odisha, and he's now like a research fellow at Jindal competition. They have a center on competition law. So yeah, he is a research fellow there. So he also accepted it, our invite, and he also received a few articles, like a really small amount of articles, which we took to review by ourselves. But then we said, it was again. I thought that we can definitely convert this to a peer-reviewed blog, because no one would be. Because I considered whether or not I would be willing to send an article to the TCF in its current state, right? The answer was clear no, because I was aiming for blogs to the sort of India Corp Law or journals who are peer reviewed. And the first criteria which we look for is whether or not that journal is a peer reviewed journal, right? So I thought, why not we can do it for the blog? So we formulated it and we discussed it like who can we approach and how we can go through it. So we started approaching this thing. Then again, while the other people, the associates accepted our invite, but the first major breakthrough was from Steve Levitsky. He was like really happy. And again, Anshuman Sakle, who is a partner at Cyril Amachan, of the head of the competition team. So he actually gave me his number and asked me to call him, in the period of 1 or 2 hours. He said like call me at that time, we'll discuss. So like he called me. He was like a really cool guy. Like I did not expect a partner to be of that sort. They are usually very busy, right? And they have something to maintain. But he was a really cool guy. So he was like, okay, so I just wanted to know how much time would you need from me? So I said that you'll be reviewing around 2 to 3 articles to the most if we have around 10 members on our board. So even if we expect to the most that we'll be receiving 30 articles per month, and some of them would be rejected on the grounds of plagiarism and stuff like that. So you can expect 2 to 3 articles per month of 1,500 to 2,000 words each. So he thought, yeah, I can give that amount of time. So he accepted the thing. But then again, I thought like we have to approach like really senior people, and we're also approaching associates on the other end, right? So would the people of that high position be willing to share the same position as that of an associate or a LLM student? So that actually gave me an idea to come up with this 3-stage review process. I thought, why not create a different category within the board? We can like put the most senior members on a different position, so that reducing the number of articles further, because it would be filtering the articles which are filtered and passed by us, then the editors, and then it would reach them. So it would also reduce the amount that we need from them, amount of time that we need from them, and like also giving us an opportunity to approach more people of their position in the future, right? So that is how we came up with this whole 3-stage review process, peer review thing, and this is how TCF stands as it stands today.
Right. Wonderful. I mean, again, as I mentioned earlier, it is quite a out of the box idea. I mean, 3-stage review was first you, then the editors, and then the hotshot guys. So, commendable.
Yeah.
Also, just to add to that, like the way Steve Levinsky, if I get his name right, as
Yeah.
he responded back to you, we recently got a response back from Canada's Crown's Council. So that
Okay,
that
that's
was like
amazing.
that made a big deal for us.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So you share the feeling which we faced, right?
Yeah.
The
I mean,
people of
exactly.
that.
I mean, that guy was also very cool. I mean, he was ready to recite the Indian national anthem, even though he was Canadian, but he knows around about 22 languages all over the world. So, I mean, such
Oh
a
my
cool
God,
guy, man. Okay, so anyway,
nice.
moving forward, okay, so firstly, take us through how your journey in the first 2 years in NLU has been, and which activities. I mean, apart from competition, also you have many papers in arbitration and IBC. So how did you develop an interest in that?
Okay, so the thing is, like people, the seniors have like the seniors which I sought advice from, right? Not all seniors, but the seniors which through whom I sought advice and believed in their advice actually said that you should, try everything out in the first, at least first 3 semesters, at least. Like they go on and say that if you're not able to figure out till third year as well, it's still fine. Like, but you have to get by the sixth semester, you should be sure what area of law you're pursuing, right? But they say that the first 3 or 4 semesters can be like really experimental. So uh, in the internship in Surat only, because first of all, I did not want to stay out of my home city because it was my first semester, right? So my first 4 months out of home, so I just wanted to like, get back home and stay there for the next 2 months. So I chose like there are like really limited opportunities in Surat in terms of legal internships. So even though I managed to get an internship with Consulta Juris, which is a like really small law firm, but it has offices in Mumbai as well as Surat. So they, practice in Mumbai office practices like throughout. So, so I got an internship in the Surat office. So that was on every like all matters. Like it was usually negotiable instrument act. There was some research on arbitration and all basic subjects that a district court firm or a lawyer practices. Like they go on for almost all matters, right? So that was something which I did in my first semester. But in the second semester, when I actually, one of my professors, Mr. Pallav Das, he's like a member of the, Asian Institute of Alternate Dispute Resolution. He's also a member of the ICA, right, London. So he is like really into arbitration, and he taught us legal methods in our first semester. So in that way, I came in is like contacts, and like I also joined him uh, as a member of the Center for Maritime Law. So he's a faculty advisor there. So that actually gave me a room to connect with him on a personal level as well. So he gave me some research tasks which he had on arbitration law, specifically maritime arbitration, right? So that actually introduced me to arbitration, like arbitration as a subject law. And I like as a fancy term, arbitration usually floats in the NLUs like arbitration, it's cool and stuff like that. So that was one of my thinkings in the first semester which I had. So that actually introduced me to arbitration, and then I uh, explored on the website on LinkedIn actually that whom all I can contact to intern with, or what people I can contact to learn more about arbitration. So I had been contacting people on LinkedIn for like internships or their suggestions in general, that how can we pursue my first 2 years. I'm thinking these and these things. How can I sort it out? So there was this one person. I am like really sorry that I cannot recall his name. So he was a GNLU graduate, right? So he's currently with Shardul Amarchand Mangaldas, that person. So I don't know how, but he responded to me on LinkedIn, and he suggested me a couple of books and stuff like that. But when I was thinking of interning under an arbitration lawyer, because I was told that you cannot directly approach in the second semester of your legal career to a law firm. You should usually prefer a lawyer because that gives you a personal attention and gives you a chance to develop your basics, right? So I asked him like what lawyers are good to intern with under arbitration. So he straight away gave me two names. That was Ketan P. Parekh, who is a senior counsel in the Mumbai High Court, and like he is known for his arbitration practice in Mumbai, as well as India, because he's like a really, really big shot in the arbitration world. And the second name he gave me of was of Mustafa Doctor, who's also like a really big shot in the arbitration thing, right? So I applied to both of them. While advocate Mustafa Doctor said that you can apply with to him in my third year if I still be interested, because he would not be able to take interns in their first year. But surprisingly, Ketan sir accepted my internship application. Like, he said that it's fine, you can intern with me, and he confirmed the dates and stuff like that. That was 13th November to 13th December. I still remember that. So I think that internship actually changed my whole thing, and I completely boiled out to the fact that I have to pursue arbitration, because uh, the kind of things which I witnessed, right? Because I witnessed him cross-examining. I witnessed the type of legal questions that he has to face and the questions that he posed to me, right? So that was something which intrigued me a lot, and then I thought, okay, arbitration is something I have to pursue, and that followed my interest. While IBC is concerned, my friend, I like, who's also a student editor in the TCF, he actually mooted he actually pursued NLU Delhi IBC moot, right? So that developed his interest in the IBC, and the IBC was out like really new at that time. So he actually asked me to write a couple of papers and blogs with him. So that also led me to get interested in IBC. So that is how all my publications have come from arbitration and IBC so far.
Wonderful.
Great. I mean, the Ketan Parikh sir's the internship story of yours is very interesting. Like, it's like waking up someday and then seeing that you have $1,000 in your bank account. It's like that amount of happiness
Yeah,
you must have gone
and
through.
also that internship actually gave me an opportunity to visit 5-star hotels every day and have the food. Yeah, so because all the arbitration hearings actually happen in the 5-star hotels, right? So that was
Yes,
like
yes.
really new for me, because like, I had never visited a 5-star hotel, not as a guest per se. So that was also something very exciting. Like, I'm like, okay, that's cool. Every day I have to go out, like, I'll get food of 5-star hotel and visit 5-star hotels. So, yeah, being a foodie, yeah, that was something.
Um,
So moving on, like you have so many interesting feats to your name now. Adding
Okay.
that, you are also you have cracked CS, but we'll come to that later. But on top of that, you are like in the like the top 4 percentile of your batch as well.
second
Like
rank,
of
Yeah,
second
of
rank, dude. Second rank in the batch of
wow,
180. Yeah, that is what is written in his profile.
great. So my question being that like see personally I don't find academics that hard to crack in any of the NLUs as much as I have heard from my friends. But say
yeah,
like
yeah.
in AI like a batch rank of 2 is common anyways. So tell us how exactly do you manage time? And it's like a very woeful task, right, for any first or second year student.
Actually not. Well, like, actually not, because a person, like, I am a person who likes to be like busy, like really busy. Like, the lockdown period is like really hard on me, because I have like really less to do, but because I'm writing blogs, I'm writing articles continuously just to keep myself busy, right? So in the law school, when you are a residential student there, you actually have a lot of time. When you think about it, you actually have a lot of time, because to be very frank, I do not like, I only make running, when we talk about academics, I only make running notes. It's not like I return from classes, I read the notes which I've made, I go through the bare act, I open the case, the whole case, and like read everything. Uh, the first time I did that was for the subject of constitutional law, because that was also because of a faculty, the faculty member which we have. So he actually compelled us to read the complete bare text of the case laws, because he would ask questions on that basis, or else we'll be sent out, and not just sent out, we'll not be given attendance. So attendance has a lot of importance, right? Because it has 5 marks. Two classes missed, you lose 1 marks. That, at least that was happened in NLU-O. So I started a week before, like two days for this subject, 2 days for that subject, and by the time we had started the examination, the first day of the examinations, I also had something to be read in the morning. I also had something to be read between the examinations, 4 to 5 hours that we get, subtracting the amount time we sleep and stuff like that. So uh, actually, academics, I would not say that I've put in a lot of work. I've, burned the midnight oil or something like that. So it's been a normal thing which I prepare for my 12th, 10th, and all the examinations. In terms of the co-curricular activities which I pursue along with academics, that is the rest of the 3 months 20 days, because subtracting the amount of mid-semester days that we require, say 15 days for that, so all those times, around 3 months of time, I I have empty for co-curricular activities. I have nothing to do for those 3 months. So I go on and I pursue all the opportunities which I have. I pursued Nalsar mediation, right? I participated in that, and I won the best mediation plan. Then I have written, I write continuously papers, blogs, and other things. I've participated in a couple of moots. No, I participated in only one national moot because something or other happened, could not form teams and stuff like that. So I participated in KK Luthra, which I've not mentioned in my LinkedIn profile because we did not win anything there. So that is another story, complete another story, because we had put in 8 months of preparation. KK Luthra requires 8 months of preparations. So despite that, okay, that was also an experience, criminal law, that introduced me to criminal law. So actually, you have a lot of time in NLU Odisha, and the person who says that you do not have time in NLU Odisha, I don't believe that. People go to sleep at 3 a.m. in the morning, wake up at 7:30, or if there's a class at 9, they wake up at 8:45. They just wear a t-shirt and run. They also miss classes. So I think that's just mismanagement. I cannot say that it's so hectic that you're not able to sleep for more than 4 to 5 hours and you're not able to attend the basic things which you are there for in the college, that are attending classes. So yeah, so that's what I believe, and that's what how I approach things. I sleep at max to max 12, and even if I sleep late at 1, I'd be watching some movie or series or a YouTube video or something like that. I won't be studying post 12 to 1 or something like that. So yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. Exactly, man. I mean, the key thing is here time management. I mean, you can't waste time. I mean, if you don't waste time, then you get
Exactly.
ample time to pursue whatever you want. And that is the key thing, what I understand. So moving
Yeah.
forward, you managed to get an All India rank 16 in the CS Foundation exam. I mean,
Yeah.
how much? I mean, take us through that. I mean, how? I mean, usually I've heard that people crack it in, a crash course of 1 month. That is possible, but I mean, All India rank 16 is commendable. So I mean, and do you want to do anything in further in that area, CS?
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, Air 16 was again not a lot of effort, because coming from a commerce background, uh, CS Foundation course is actually a revision of whatever you have done in the 12th. So it's nothing new, like literally nothing new. So I actually studied. That is the reason I did not intern in the second semester, because I had to prepare and give examination for the CS. So those 2 months were the only the internship break which we get was the only time which I actually 45 days. So that was the only time I prepared and gave examinations. I did not touch the book throughout my other 4 months when I was there in the college. So that I just studied for the 1.5 months which I had, and the main thing which I benefited from was my commerce background, because I actually studied almost everything beforehand. So that was actually not like anything difficult. A person who comes from a commerce background and has his basics clear can easily get a AIR in foundation. That's not at all a difficult task. And in terms of whether or not I want to pursue CS further, uh, I'm actually not sure, because in the first semester or the second semester, I was not sure whether or not I want to, go for a corporate job, corporate as in a corporate law job, or what subject area I want to choose. So I thought a CS would, add to my profile if I want to pursue a corporate law job. But yeah, as you have rightly pointed out, that I've gained interest in, arbitration and this IBC, which usually falls within the category of dispute resolution. So it's something like CS would not go on and add anything to my profile.
Great. I mean, it's like a kind of those Sharma ji ka Londa wali story hogi. It was nothing. It was like very easy. Yeah, it was very easy.
No,
But
it's
Cakewalk, man, cakewalk.
actually really like any of you from commerce background, like are you from commerce background?
Both of us.
Both
yes,
you
I
or
was.
something.
I was. Yeah, even
Yeah,
Anay
yeah.
was.
So the questions, like whenever you get a chance, there are online materials available. So if at all you plan or you want to appear, you want to be able to try, just before registering, you can access their books, reading material for free, right? You can download it on their website. So the chapters, just see the contents, right? The index page, and you'll see all the chapters that have been covered in the 11th or the 12th. It's actually nothing new. So it's not a Sharma ji ka Londa type of thing, but it's actually really, really simple. You just have to, be your basics clear. That's the condition and the caveat that I want to put. That the basics should be clear. You might have performed well in your 12th. That is definitely going to help. Yeah, but if you're not, your basics are not clear, you do not pay much heed to the studies in the 12th, then definitely you'll have to put a lot of work, because the questions that they ask are core commerce questions. The accounts question that you face are MCQ questions. So, they go to the objective intricacy of a question. Like they gave a balance sheet, they would leave blanks. So your concepts should be really, really clear. So that's it.
Okay. Okay. So finally, let's move on to the next segment, which we call the on your fingertips round. I mean, it is kind of similar to a rapid fire round. So I mean, we expect very quick and witty answers. Okay. So firstly, starting off, what is your on-campus name? I mean, there must be some nickname. What do your friends call you?
Bhalotia by my surname.
Oh,
That's the most common name that boys actually call. So Bhalotia.
yeah. Okay. That was quick. I'll give you options. Okay. First option is, since you love arbitration. Okay. So you've been, if you get a chance to go to moots and actually, judge them, beat any arbitration, beat RK Tankha or beat FDI, Frankfurt or Williams Davis, anything. And on the other hand, you get a vacation scheme to a UK law firm for about, well about 1 month, more than that,
Yeah,
in the international arbitration team. So which would you choose?
I would go for judging a moot. I think I would go for judging a moot because, yeah, I think that really attracts my passion. So that actually intrigues my whole legal thinking and stuff like that. Because I think, like, if I perform well, even in India, I might get to UK if I wish to, someday. So if I get an opportunity to judge a really good moot, I can definitely go for that. And I would really want to go for that.
Okay. So tell us three things which are in your bucket list.
Bucket list. Okay. So I'll tell you in the order of priority as of now. So first of all, I want to become a partner to a law firm, head their dispute team or something like that. Then I want to go for a family trip to some amazing destination.
Spain.
And last name, maybe Geneva.
Oh,
Maybe Geneva.
Nepal.
That might not be on my bucket list. Yeah, but I can go. Yeah. So the last thing is
Bad joke.
running my own cafe. I just want to open my own cafe because I'm like a really big foodie. So it's been something which I've been thinking like since last 2 to 3 years. I want to like run my own cafe along a beach side if that's possible, something like that.
I mean, if the cafe has good coffee, then I'll definitely be a regular customer. I mean, ask anyone from
Yeah,
my college. They will all tell out of all things they will say is coffee बहुत अच्छा है. Coffee बहुत पसंद है इसको. Anyway,
yeah,
not relevant
yeah.
here, but
I'll
Coffee is also prerequisite, right? I mean, if you have the lifestyle
name
of making a
cafe.
plate.
Yeah, but if you're using the name cafe, then you'll have to have good coffee. Otherwise, you can go
Yeah,
for
yeah,
a
yeah,
fast food joint or a restaurant.
right.
Yeah, so that's
definitely. going into
like
the
this, I
semantics.
can relate this to, vlogs right now. I'm actually glad, you named your vlog the competition forum, which is unique. Right now,
Okay.
vlogs compulsory need to have legs or either just or, something
Yeah.
legal, first or second word. I don't know the thought process behind it, but
Yeah.
there is nothing
Yeah, I've
unique in it.
seen a lot of memes on that. I've seen actually a lot of memes on that. Like someone wrote, if I see another blog name with something like that, I might kill myself or something like that. I saw a meme. Yeah, it's actually a fact. Like it has become a trend because it has become so easy to run a website, and also to
So, okay, so I guess I have the last two questions. So, name any silly law which you would create.
really law. Okay, I might actually go for compulsory Michelin star chef cooking mess food for law schools. Yeah, because that's a requisite. I think that's a requisite. Like having
Right.
served, a decorative plate of food, something like that. That would be
Yeah.
like making my life considering that I have single occupancy rooms and also being served, 5-star dishes. Yeah, that will be something I'd be really open to, and not write any blog or article objecting it at all. How so discriminatory it might be.
Yeah, just to add on that, if each and every mess, had this chefs who replicate Gordon Ramsay, if you have heard about him,
Yeah,
Gordon Ramsay,
yeah, I
that
have.
man,
I have. Oh yeah, actually. He's like mad. Yeah, the thing is, yeah, because the what we face in our mess is that there is this one person who's fixed for serving, right? So it often happens that when he's serving, it seems like he's putting it money from his own pocket. So that is also I want unlimited quantity should be also a law to be made. Unlimited
especially,
quantity.
yeah, and we also have same kind of, for sweets, gulab jam or rasgulla,
Okay.
that guy is like, he's giving blood of his own body.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last
Okay.
question being, uh,
Yeah.
tell us about like describe NLU Odisha in 3 words. Your journey in NLU Odisha till now.
So if I describe it in 3 words, firstly I would say it's an underdog or underrated because that's my that we face usually when we apply for internships and stuff like that. So first word I can use is underrated or an underdog. Then the second striking feature of NLU Odisha would be single occupancy rooms. That is something like I love about it. So we have like own personal rooms. We do not have to share it with anyone. So yeah, that's the second word. Third, an under construction library, soon to be Asia's biggest library, because it's still pending for last 10 years. It's not come up. Let's hope when it comes up. Yeah, so that's the three striking features about NLU Odisha.
No, I guess every everything which is Asia's largest connoted to it will take more than 10 years because our campus is to be Asia's largest. It
No,
has been pending since 5 years now.
Don't get us
because the
started.
thing is, the thing is that building is actually now a mess. Now like the construction actually stopped for like 7 to 8 years. They built it for the first 2 or some years. Then they did not touch that building for the 7 8 years. Now also it's not started. But now that we have a student council and we have started protesting and stuff like that, they have said that we have released a contract. But let's see if that a tender per se. So they have released a tender. So let's see, like if it takes the next 10 years or so. I just wish it's done before I graduate. That's all I wish.
Okay, I have a
Same
Keeping
really
here.
myself.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even in the
No,
case
yeah,
of
but
our campus, we are
Yeah.
being told that it will be a 60-acre campus. That is okay, but we are being told that it will have a museum, which will be Asia's best museum or best
legal
campus.
history.
I mean,
Yeah.
anyway, we all know how much of it is actually true. Or,
True. Yeah.
It's to be legal history museum and also we'll have a hanging library. and we'll have like artificial lake. We'll be like Atmanirbhar basically, to
Yeah.
say it in indigenous terms. So we'll
Gokul
take
society
water
in
from there,
campus.
and we'll have solar powered. All the functions will take place from solar power,
Yeah.
and there will be
Oh my
dogs for our security. There will be milk. We'll take. There will be a tabela in the campus. We'll take milk from the cows that we rear and
Oh
we
my
grow.
God.
Yeah, and we'll hire Michelin star chefs.
Yeah. That is the.
Yeah.
And I'll kid you not. On the day of our convention, Amay joined late. Like he was convention ही होता है ना first day orientation. No, sorry.
Induction.
Induction or convention क्या होता है? तो Amay was late entrant. Like he joined in the second vacancy list. So on the day of induction, the architect comes and he tells us that I have gone through the structure of IIT Kharagpur and IIT Bombay, and they have like night life over there. So we'll ensure the same in the campus. You will have super malls and malls which are
Oh my
functional
God.
24/7, cafes. Khau Galli,
Oh
like
my
he
God.
literally, not Khau Galli, he said in some English words, but like the sense of it was there will be a Khau Galli where there will be
Food
line
plaza.
of cafes
Food
and
joints. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. So
Yeah.
इतना सब तो है. Let's see what happens.
Yeah. That's like really a really big plan. Let's see how government does that,
From
executes it.